Yippee, we got new event quests. Well, we got one new event quest. What's up, y'all? We're playing Monster Hunter today. I want to take a look at the new event quest, and I want to offer my thoughts on this game, which is something that nobody asked for, but I'm going to do anyway. First hunt, we're going to talk about the positives. Second hunt, we're going to talk about the negatives. And third hunt, I'm going to complain. No. I'll summarize and there's something else I want to talk about. So let me get a delicious taste of this new event quest, though. Let's see. Oh, he's tempered? Okay, we're gonna fight the tempered boy then, I guess. But yeah, as far as the positives of this game, I mean, I do think there's lots. I feel like I've complained a lot in past videos, but it's not like that. I've also played a ton of the game, so I'm not having a bad time by any means. The combat feels great. I feel like most of the weapon reworks have been met with positive feelings from people as well, although I do know that a few weapons didn't like the changes they got, but I feel like that happens basically in every Monster Hunter game because they always fiddle with things, and there's things that people like from past games that are no longer there. That one's always just going to be personal taste, right? But I think the combat feels great. It's fast. The monsters are responsive. I also really like the map designs. The spaces that you fight for the most part are really open. And one thing that I didn't like about World was a lot of the spots where you fight feel like they're really crowded. And I mean, I guess that's a design choice, and if you like that, then, you know, more power to you. That's just not what I'm into. I like the open spaces. I like the Monster Hunter games where it feels like you're kind of traveling to different little arenas to fight the monster. And I think that, like, for the most part, Wilds actually meets that pretty well. Like, the map design's a little bit weird, but since you just autopilot around them on your sacred anyways, it doesn't really matter. And it made for some really interesting areas to fight that have a lot of open space. Another thing too is I actually think that, like, most of the new monsters are really good. Like, I think that probably the worst is like a 7 out of 10 to me, and most of them are better than that. Even though I've been playing since Gen 3, Rise was my favorite Monster Hunter, and I think Rise even had more monsters in it that I disliked compared to Wilds so far. I mean, one of those that kind of is double-edged though, because Wilds doesn't really have all that many monsters in it right now, I feel like, because it's kind of, it just dropped. None of the title updates have come out yet. Like, it's not at the point where it really reflects what its full roster is gonna be, so we'll have to see going forward. But right now, I really like where it's at. I think the stuff they added is, like, really genuinely good. Why are you so mean? There we go. There's no way that blue wound's getting away from me now. You're locked down on the ground, baby. You're going over once more. There you go. I like bullying this little frog. Even though he's tempered, he's still just a baby, and he's fun to beat up. And that's actually something that I wanted to say too. Like, the early game monsters I felt were a lot less boring than they have been in past games. Like, I genuinely liked most of the early game fights in this. And it felt like it ramped up to more interesting fights in a hurry. Like, I'm not gonna spoil the story at all because I know people watching this haven't finished the story, and that's why I didn't really include it in any of the videos either. But I feel like the difficulty of the fights progressed in such a way that I never felt like, okay, I get it, now where's the interesting fights? I mean, obviously, it's a Monster Hunter game, so the later game fights are, wow, that one kind of hurt. The later game fights are always gonna be more interesting, but the early game stuff is fun. Oh, you're getting bullied, bro. And the wound system, okay, I think the wound system is really fun. I know that some people I know don't like it because it gets a little bit repetitive, but I really like it. It gives you like an extra little satisfying serotonin producing task during the fight. I see wounds on the monster and I feel like a savage animal. Like, give me that red dot. It's also why I really like the affliction fights in Rise. It's like, oh, let me pop that. That gives me something else to do. Also the mounts, bro. Keeping mounts like this around where you can. I like the autopathing, but I really like being able to take control of the wheel too. Like, I think they did a really good job with bringing the mounts over and continuing that, because, like, honestly, once I got the palamutes and Rise and that kind of mount that's available to you during a fight and kind of like functionally useful as part of your team, I didn't want to go back. Like, I tried to play Monster Hunter games that didn't have mounts anymore, and I was like, man, I miss my little guy that I got to ride around on. Like, I'm lonely. Who am I gonna sharpen on now? Please fall over. No? I see. Come here. This is gonna feel terrible. What a dummy. He jumped right into it. Look, he went into that with excitement too. He was like looking forward to getting knocked into this. How did that not connect with that wound? I'm of a different caliber than you are. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you are just a little baby compared to... Oh my god! Dogs, please stop. I'm sorry for peeking the mic. I'm trying to talk about this game. Oh my god, there's a whole herd of them. That's your problem, Chatacabra. I don't want any part of this. They seem angrier at you than at me, so I'm just gonna say over here, never stop your enemy when they're making a mistake. This isn't far enough away. I wish that you had went further. Where are you going? I don't want to be... he's licking through the hole. Oh no, they showed up here too. Bro, that's so stupid. What's he, is he stuck? Are you too thick to get through here? I've never seen I've never seen that before. Also, this is the wrong horn. When did I pull this one out? This isn't what I was using before. Okay, well, works for me, I guess. Okay, that's Echo Wave Slash. I see. I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to get what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, right at the end of the fight. Good. It was a good horn. I kind of get what it does now. It's a Monster Hunter game, bro. If you've played one Monster Hunter game, you know what's here. It's just a progressed and better version of what has come before it. And somebody just got really angry out there when they heard me say that too. But we'll get to that. This was mostly for armor spheres. So if you're looking to farm armor spheres, this is the quest to do it in. I think it's available for a week. I think it goes away next, well, in my time zone, it goes away on next Tuesday, I think. Let's do an SOS flare while I talk about the negatives. I gotta eat first though. Why is nobody doing anything that I want to do? I want to help you, but I only want to help you on my terms. We're gonna fight a frenzied Blagonga. So as far as complaints about the game, the obvious one, the elephant in the room, the performance. And yeah, I mean, it ain't great. Even console players have been having performance problems with the game. We know the state of the gaming industry. We knew this was gonna happen. We had, this dude really is frenzied. We had general proof of how this game was gonna run when Dragon's Dogma 2 came out, because it was also an open world game running RE Engine. And it was not good. Like I feel like buying this game, at least for me, I knew it was gonna be bad. Like I made the informed decision to buy a game that I knew was probably not gonna run all that well. But does that mean it's a good thing? I mean, no, still very expensive game, man. And when you buy a game this expensive that you want to play for like years to come, you kind of want it to be great. And I mean, I like Monster Hunter enough that I'm gonna upgrade my computer just to have it be better. But I kind of wish I didn't have to. I mean, at the same time, I do want to upgrade my computer. I mean, it's 5 years old. But like, you get it. It sucks to have seen it coming, and then like it comes out and you're like, oh yeah, it was that bad. Although it was, if you played the beta, you might have more cause for concern. But it's definitely better than the beta was. I will give them that. I don't want to complain about this and then not give credit where credit's due. This runs a lot better than the beta did, even on my computer, which is not that great and quite old at this point. So that was cool. I appreciate Capcom for that. But at the same time, like after watching it happen with Dragon's Dogma and being like, oh, this game is great, but it could be better if this wasn't happening. And then the same thing here, it's like, oh, that was a very quick fight. I guess this is the game's way of telling me to stop whining, bro. Well, really, that's my only complaint, though. I guess the one other thing is it does feel a little bit light on content right now, and I know a lot of people have said that, but also, if you're like me, you've no-lifed it, you don't get to complain, really. And honestly, when you think about it, we're still pre any title update. Title update 1 hasn't even come out yet, never mind a DLC that adds like the whole G-rank, master rank portion of the game. So why get too concerned about that when you know there's gonna be more content? Do I wish there was more here? Absolutely. Again, back to the expensive game principle. I want to get as much that works as well as possible for my dollar because I'm paying a lot of money for the game. I didn't buy myself this game, to be totally honest with you, but in principle, you know what I mean. Oh, look at that. I was only there for like 5 minutes and I still got an award. Best hunting horn in North America. A lot of this stuff I could complain about. I can't really yet because the title updates haven't come out yet. And a lot of stuff I see other people complain about. I'm like, yeah, but you're comparing this to like World and Rise, which have had their full cycle of title updates. You're not comparing it to how those games were when Rise was like, people are kind of short-sighted in this regard because Rise, like if you remember Rise when it came out, everybody complained that it got shipped early because of some weird issue with COVID development being slowed down. And then they title updated in a bunch of stuff. Like the game wasn't even finished when it came out yet. You couldn't even do the All-Mother fight. I'll do this temper raid now with these guys. Hopefully they're not too far along in it. I've seen a whole lot of discussion from content creators mostly, actually. This is like a content creator based thing more than a like general Monster Hunter community thing. I've seen a lot of content creators really bagging on this game for being easy. And these are content creators who I've watched for a very long time because they've been making Monster Hunter content for a very long time. And I want you to think about what I just said because to me, that's the main reason why this game is easy to them. Like, bro, if you've been making Monster Hunter content since like Gen 3, Gen 4, even World, at this point, most Monster Hunter games share so much of the DNA of, like with each other. They're so similar. They're so cross-compatible skill-wise. You have been playing Monster Hunter for so long, you are never gonna have that difficulty experience that you have had with other Monster Hunters. Especially not when, in my opinion, this may or may not be wrong, a lot of the difficulty in older Monster Hunters to me is because they're not user-friendly. And yes, the fights do have harder hitting things, but it's stuff like not being able to heal while you're walking. And put a new player in this game and see if they think it's easy, because I've had people play this game who haven't ever really played similar games and they had a really hard time learning the game. So to me, it's like, bro, maybe they have gotten more user-friendly and that does make the fights easier as time goes on. but at the same time, like, you're never gonna be as raw as you were the first time you played a Monster Hunter game. It's never gonna have that same degree of difficulty just because they always play the same. Once you know the controls and once you know how things work, you can go between Monster Hunter games and figure out the slight differences without it being a huge deal, bro. Like, it's never gonna be like it was for you back then. I don't know though, that could be, I could be majorly out of touch or something like that. That might just be me thinking that way, but like, yeah, I found my experience with Wilds easier than I found my experience with Rise, and I found my experience with Rise easier than I found my experience with Monster Hunter 3U. But it's not because those games were inherently easier. It's just because, like, when I started, I had less knowledge of the series. I had less of an idea of what I was doing, and I think that, you know, at this point, so many of these creators have been making like multiple videos a week playing Monster Hunter, and they're at the point where they're never going to be hard to you anymore, bro. Monster Hunter games just aren't like that. It's just not going to be. My biggest question or my biggest concern when I pull up a Monster Hunter game is it fun? And to me, yes, this game is fun as can be. It's one of the most fun experiences I've had playing Monster Hunter is playing this game. Probably my second favorite experience I've had. And it'll probably upset people to know that my first favorite experience was Rise too, because that game is oddly contentious as well. But I've been playing since Gen 3, so I mean, I've experienced a lot of different Monster Hunter games, and that's just where my preferences are. I'm not trying to say everybody's like that too. There's been a lot of people who've been super enthusiastic about the game, and there have been a lot of people who have been disappointed for reasons that I would call very valid. But just when I hear people who have been playing Monster Hunter at this point for like 15 years being like, it's not as hard as this one was, well, of course it's not. The game plays way more fluidly, and you're just inherently better at the game. You're not learning nearly as much anymore. You're just learning the niche differences between the two games. Okay, Raydao, I'm done talking for the day now. It's really late and I would like to edit the video, so you're gonna need to go down. You're gonna need to go down in a hurry. I just spent, okay, we're gonna abandon the review at this point, or the discussion about the game from my perspective, because I have nothing else to say. Ow. But I just spent the past like hour and a half cleaning a 50-gallon fish tank. I had to take 30 gallons of water out of it because it was like, I do little water changes every week, but this is like the once every couple of months where I do a biggie water change, the big boy. And everything on me, I washed my hands, I washed my arms, I changed my clothes, but I can still smell the fish tank water because I really got in there, bro. I got all the poop out of the tank. And now it's just, I'm like, it's burned in my nose. I screwed that up so bad, and I'm tired of smelling it. You know what? I'll put a clip of the fish at the end of the video from before I wash the fish tank, though. Y'all can look at my fish with me. My throat is really cooked today, too, by the way. I'm sorry that I probably sound kind of off. Now, this is one of the few times I've ever fought Raydao and it's not storming. You're actually quite a pretty monster when I can see what you look like. Too bad the game spends most of the time hiding you behind, like, the fallow storm or whatever it's called. Oh, man, it's a little bit late to shield for myself, but if you're enjoying the content, please subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot, and that's pretty much it. And I like having new members of the community. That was very awkward. Like, I feel like there's not even any charm in how awkward that was. That wasn't charmingly awkward. That was just like, I don't want to have to do this, but I know that it's for the best. Guys, I think we might be winning. I think we might be better than Raydao. Oh, I'm gonna get that kneecap really quick. I know you're also there, but I wanted it as well. See, look at that. I told you I should have it. All me. Hard. No, great lobby. Fantastic, folks. You know what? We weren't making anything in particular today either, so we're just going to end it there. Thank you so much for joining me today, y'all. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on this game. It's not really a review. It's kind of just I like this stuff, I don't like this stuff, and here's something that I don't understand. Special thank you to members. I have more members videos coming out this week. I'm going to start doing stuff like some pet vlogs, so I've got like the fish and the reptiles and stuff like that, along with those retro games that we were looking at too. Keep that roll. I'm going to try and have more members videos per month for you guys of just kind of side stuff like that, so I'll keep it moving. But to everybody though, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate y'all immensely. I will see you on Thursday for the next one. Until then, peace.
Look at this fish. Look, girl, I see you begging for food, sis, but I just fed you. You don't need more food. I know you know I'm here and you're wondering what's up. That's a big fish right there. You guys see that lumpy belly? That's because you just ate. You don't need more. You don't need more. I'm not shaming you or anything, but you really don't need it.